Okay, so this is how the build looks like right now. So this amulet right here, the protagonizer, is the most important item for this build. It will increase damage incredibly much if you prioritize attunement on your hero points, and will just boost your hammer damage incredibly in combination with ability critical damage. This will stack very fine with this. And for a spell you need this Buffmeister with Bonk and Kashaw. You see down here. You see down here, Bonk and Kashaw. These two is what you need for this build. This spell here, Buffmeister, with these two stats here, Bonk and Kashaw. Then this is not even close to being a good one, but it has to be this armor piece. I think it's called Amalgam, this one here. It increases the stats, a lot more stats in total, and I will just tell you which stats is the most important. So this goes for all the items in the entire build. Number one most important stat is ability critical damage. Number two most important stat is ability damage. So critical damage is more important, then comes damage. Third is ability cooldown. Fourth is elemental damage, and fifth is melee damage. Those 5 stats in that order. That's what you need for the build, no matter which item it is that you're using. And then I think that the shield or the ward doesn't really matter that much, but I think this one is the best one because it summons a hammer with melee damage. So it's the one that suits the build best, I think. And here, this weapon here, this melee weapon, is probably the best one because it has the highest melee damage, which will increase the damage of your hammer much more. Since you want to spam it as much as possible, melee damage is the damage that will increase the hammer itself most. And here you have this, I think it's called the liquid cooling, this gun. It gives extra melee damage, which is good to have. This is one of the weapons that is useful for this build. Oh, wait. And then there's this one, Blue Cake, I think this one is called. It's basically the same thing, more melee damage. Those two I have found out to be like the best to have for the build. You can also use this sniper here, it's called Envy, I think it's called. That also will increase your melee damage, which will increase your damage on the hammer as well. And I use this one as well, not for any big reason, I'm just for a 4th item. Okay, these 2 rings is not the ones that is best when it comes to a specific legendary ring. I will find them. Okay, this ring here, the Shark's Bane, is good to have because it will increase your damage if you do critical hit damage. Good to have. The only reason I don't use this one is because you see it has horrible stats. It has companion, melee, critical, assault rifle damage. Basically nothing that I can use for my build. But a ring like this one, a legendary ring like this one with the right stats, that's what you seek. And then it's this one. The same thing, but you get increased damage by fighting bosses. One of these 2 rings is probably the best ones to use, I think. So I have changed a tiny bit when it comes to the build here. You can just look how it actually looks here. Nothing much, I've just like tried to get some magazine size here as well, and yeah. This is basically how I've put it down. This one here, this will do more damage with ability damage. This and this one, more damage with ability damage. They're probably some of the bigger reasons I need ability damage. And of course the hammer itself, the throwing hammer, Storm Dragon's Judgment, because if I use this one I can use my ability more often, and this Storm Smite will be used more often. And I will get more from ability damage. And here is the like stats for my hero points. Attunement, the most important. Wisdom is actually the second most important, because I do a lot of elemental damage on this build. And then it's like Constitution, more health. You could also probably use Dexterity, critical hit chance, I guess. I guess that's the stats. So I've gotten to Chaos level 30, and I think I'm just gonna show you some gameplay on Chaos level 30 and see how it actually looks. Keep in mind I have poor stats on this dude, like look at these rings. Yeah, this one is probably somewhat better, I see, but it's still like just not really that good. Ability hit chance isn't really that good. It does something, but the only really good thing on this ring here is the ability critical damage. Otherwise I have gun damage, assault rifle again, and hit chance, which isn't that important. With this amulet I will basically get 100% hit chance either way. And you see this one, this is basically the same thing. It's just critical hit damage again. Nothing more that really boosts a lot. So I have all the items I basically need. I just doesn't have good stats on them. So keep that in mind. I will do Chaos level 30, but keep in mind that the stats isn't as it should be. I have very weak, bad items. Here I will just do the normal Chaos trial. Okay, let's go. Okay, by the way, if you are in the Chaos run here, and you get a chance of choosing this unicorn, but stallion, that could be a good choice, because you can increase your damage you can increase your you can upgrade your character a bit by going for this one. Okay, it seems like I forgot to record the part up to here, but now I'm at the boss on Chaos level 30, and just gonna to state things that I stated while not recording. So this build is basically like AoE. Everything around me gets attacked by these lightning bolts. They take damage over time, and most of the damage comes from damage over time. And I also wanted to state that it is a very good like survival build. As long as I try to survive, I can survive easily through like being resurrected by my pet, actually, mostly, but also like getting second chances from the Clawbringer trait that resurrects me. So it is like AoE, damage over time, survival build like that. I'm just gonna show you the actual fight now and remember to record it. So yeah, I also have 2 more things which probably haven't been recorded. When you play this, the 2 upgrades you want in the Chaos Trial is the elemental damage and the melee damage. Those are the 2 upgrades you want to take when you can buy upgrades. Yes, I'm just gonna play some now then and kill this boss. Okay, I just remembered one more thing about this build. It does really poor damage towards anything that is armored. The yellow bar. It does good damage against shields, okay damage against normal health, but awful damage against any yellow health bars, any armor. Okay, that is a victory against a level 30 chaos boss. But this boss is actually kind of like maybe one of the easier. It's not the most difficult for this build actually though. I would say that the what's it called, the Wyvern Dragon, the one that is just armor on its health bar, that is the one that like it's awful to face that boss with this build. Just gonna take all the crystals. Nice. So I get 2000 crystals, but I've like used a lot of them on upgrades as well because I just felt like doing it. I don't really have that good stats on this build. Wait, I'm just gonna show it so you can actually see that it was like level 30. You see down there where it says my level that I am level 40. Underneath that you see a little symbol with the number 30. That's chaos level 30. So I actually did this on chaos level 30 with not really good stats on my items, not even the right rings. So yeah, I should be able to do a lot more damage than I did now. So let's see, that's the one, and yeah, maybe if I look up it can be more clear that I am on chaos level 30 there. Hopefully it is. Yes. And then I end by this ending screen right here. There you see the upgrades I actually got. Those are the 2 upgrades that is important. I didn't actually get any of them to level 3, which is like the one where they get yellow, I think, or green upgrades. Here is all the info actually, yeah. You can see level 30 up there, victory, that I actually did it. Ooh, I got into the top 50% as well, so that's not too bad. Yes, GG, well played. Okay, I almost forgot to mention this. You probably want to know which myth ranks to use as well. Wait, it was a bit dark there. Okay, so let me see. Can I actually show each one of these? Select there. Nice. Okay, I can. I didn't really know if I could. So you use your points in like 4 different places here. Your myth rank points. So on this one, the 3rd one, the one called Blade Master, these here, you want to get melee damage. I think that's the important one to go for. You can probably also put it in some others, like Constitution probably is a good one. I don't think Strength is that important. Yeah, I don't know if the Strength actually improves the critical hit damage of a ability damage, but yeah, melee damage is a good one to use here at least. And for Deadeye, the 4th one here, you probably want to go for movement speed probably. There isn't much useful on Deadeye for this build actually. But this one here, this one actually has some incredibly good one for this build. It has ability damage. That is important over here. This is the Druid, the 1st one. So in the Druid, the 1st one, you need ability damage and attunement. Attunement is actually incredibly important depending on the amulet you have for this build. The amulet will increase the critical hit damage and the critical hit chance a lot more if you just spend points into attunement, and that will definitely improve your build. This one here is essential actually. Attunement in the 1st one, Druid, and then after that this one over here, ability damage, is actually a good one to go for. You can also take a bit of lightning damage if you want, but I don't think it matters, just ability damage. And attunement, that is important. And then the 2nd one, the Archmage, which is the one I'm gonna spend my point in now, you can spend it on fire damage actually. And I think status effect chance is important. I think that the dot damage on this build is affected by this one as well though, but I don't know, maybe you can try. But anyways, the fire damage is important on Archmage. Most of the other things doesn't really matter that much. They're just like for spell damage and things like that, so it can improve your buff from your spell. But yeah, fire damage is probably the most important.